Hello and welcome to Shapeships. This is the sixth game in our example game series, Human versus Human. And I thought in this game we'd just have a look at trying to build a Leviathan. So there's always a percentage of players that are drawn to the biggest ship, most powerful ship. The Leviathan, all dice rolls read as 6 for you, deal 12 damage and heal 12. So clearly a very powerful ship, quite difficult to build, particularly in Human versus Human because of this ship, the Guardian. So, when you're trying to build this Leviathan, you need your carriers, your starships. We can only save up to 12 lines in the game. So you can't just save all the lines for the starships and the 12 joining lines. That's 1628 lines. So there's kind of this period when you're building the Leviathan where the other player, if they see these two starships not turning into a science vessel, they can, quickly make a Guardian. You've usually got some defenders in your fleet. A commander and 4 joining lines is pretty quicker than 12. Against some people, they may not realize what you're doing and you can get to this Leviathan. Against an experienced player, they're going to see what you're doing and build a Guardian. So look, in Human versus Human, it's not particularly feasible. In the other matchups, particularly against Zenite, there's really no way for them to stop you going for this. And Centaur as well, they can try and stop it, but it's not as clear as just responding with a Guardian. So look, it's definitely viable in the other matchups, Ancient as well. In Human versus Human, an attentive opponent will probably stop it. So look, in this game, there is a variant that we use sometimes, which is no destroy powers, which actually means the Guardian is, banned essentially for that match. That can be fun if you're playing with kids and stuff. You don't want to be killing their ships necessarily. It's not much fun. So let's ban the Guardian in this game. Judd, will try and build a Leviathan. Nina will go for the other kind of player favorite ship, the Dreadnought. It's another fun ship that deals 10 damage when you make a ship, make a free fighter. We've tried it in the previous games. It's quite slow actually in Human versus Human, but against someone going Leviathan, maybe it can work. So let's get into it. We'll roll. That's a 4. Now the question for both players is, do we want orbitals? If so, how many? Both of those ships are very expensive. We've tried kind of a Dreadnought rush with carrier building the components and going straight for it. The joining lines are quite big here, 10 and 12. So I think both players probably do want at least one orbital. There's our 6, so I'll go for an orbital. Nina will also go for an orbital. Now we both have one bonus line. Let's keep going. I'll try and play a bit quicker. That's 6 for each again. So now another decision. Do we want more orbitals? Do we want to start making our carriers? With our Leviathan, the carriers have to be depleted to join. And probably we want to make defenders from them. So that's going to take a while if we're not rushing it. Let's think. Do I want more than one? I think I'll start making my carriers. Nina, let's go for another orbital with Nina, just to help us actually build these dreadnoughts. Maybe we'll build a bit more healing too. The problem with the dreadnought is, you commit so much to it and you have no healing. Okay, let's keep going. A 6, that's 7 here and 8 here. Yeah, I think for our Leviathan build, we'll just have one orbital, and we'll focus on getting these guys going. This carrier can build this turn. This carrier has to wait till next turn, as we just made it. And we're going to make some defenders, I think. We need 2 defenders in our Leviathan itself. And also it's going to take quite a while to build the 2 starships and the 12 joining lines, so having some healing to stay alive is going to be important. Nina builds a carrier. I heal 1 here. Let's continue. Turn 5. It's a 3, so that's 4, 5 here, and 5, 6, 7 here. So, already that second orbital helping out. Nina is building a dreadnought. So do we need more than 1 carrier? Maybe. Again, you can build most of the components of the dreadnought from a carrier. You can build 3 fighters or 2 defenders, 2 fighters, and then manually build the last fighter. Look, let's go for another carrier because the dreadnought, it suffers from that lack of healing as well. So we can build our fighter from our 3rd fighter or our 2 defenders from there. So let's build 2 defenders on this side. 3 healing there. This carrier is active, and let's also do our 2 defenders first. Because we're not trying, that's not a defender, we're not trying to kill our opponent, straight away. We're doing quite a mid-game push with this dreadnought on Nina's side. So 1 there, 1 healing, no one's doing any damage, 29, 26. Let's keep going. A 4 is 10 here, 5, 7 for Nina. Now, we on this side are building a Leviathan. And look, let's just make a starship right now. We'll do our defenders too. So 5 here, 5 here, and let's drop down a starship. This could look like a science vessel, healing science vessel kind of control build. So we do 8 damage this turn when the starship lands. Again, Guardian, we've banned it, so if we're being obvious about it, it's okay. Nina's going for the dreadnought build. Let's make that 2nd defender that we need, and this carrier will make our fighters. We're really building, just the components for this. 7 lines. Our carriers are going to make everything here. We will need to draw the commander. No need to do that now. But again, in a real game, I might hang on to those lines. Commander's not doing any damage, but let's just get it done so there's less to think about. Okay, well, we're on our way to the Leviathan, and on our way to the Dreadnought, and with an extra orbital here. So a 5, that's 7, 8 here, 8, 9, 10 for Nina. Well, 8 is a nice number to do our second starship. Apologies, I didn't do any healing or anything last turn, so uh, I went up 5. Nina took 8 and healed 2, so took 6. 8 from our starship there coming down. Okay, and yes, it's a lot to remember doing both players and commenting. So forgive me if I miss things. I know I have a little bit in the other videos. Let's make starship number 2 over here. So 7 healing, 8 damage. Nina can make her dreadnought right now, actually. Right, so 2 more fighters. 1, 2. I'll lay it out like a dreadnought if you like. There we go. Wow, we actually hit that quite quickly with our double orbitals. 10 joining lines for dreadnought, and we're online. And yeah, we've still got some carrier charges here to hopefully do a bit more healing. Important to note that the carrier-made ships don't trigger the dreadnought power. You have to. It's when you draw a ship, then it does it. Okay, 10 damage from the dreadnought. That's the build phase. I should try and be a bit more clear about the build phase and the battle phase. It'll remind me to actually do the healing and stuff. So 8 here. Nina's quite low, actually. Just these 2 starships coming down. Yeah, interesting. And taking 3 here. So 31. But the dreadnought's here now already on turn 8. These orbitals have, paid themselves off over 6 turns. Now they're just generating net lines. Here we're still, quite away from finishing this. We've just got the 1 orbital, but we've got our carriers are still making defenders probably, because this damage is going to start ramping up now. Let's roll. It's a 1. Thank you, dice. 1 there, 3 there. So I think everyone's going to make defenders. So 1, 2 here to 9, and 1, 2 here. Get a new defender. 2 here. With our 3 lines, we could draw a fighter and get another fighter. We've got our 2. Yeah, look, maybe we do that. Draw a fighter, get this fighter. Because, well, I like making another dreadnought once I've got 1 dreadnought. And I find that's what a lot of players want to do. Maybe we should just make battle cruisers and tactical cruisers, etc. But it's more fun getting another dreadnought. So let's make a fighter, and that will make this fighter. We've got these 2 defenders here that can also be part of the next dreadnought. So yeah, maybe 2 carriers to make multiple dreadnoughts is worthwhile. Here we're just saving, sitting and saving. We're taking 3. Like, Nina's so low. There's so many other paths you can take in human versus human. But we want to build a Leviathan. That's the fun thing to do. So we're taking 3 here to 28, dealing no damage. Nina heals 2, and that's turn 8. Let's keep going. A 6, that's good. 8, we're almost there. We need 12 to get here. Um, 8 for Nina as well. Okay, well, we're saving over here. Let's build a couple of defenders. If we weren't building defenders from these, we would just be dead probably on our long journey to the Leviathan. So we've got 11, 11. We'll have to, yeah, hopefully get it next turn before, this dreadnought, second dreadnought really starts kicking off. 8 lines we're saving. So we need, a 3 or more next turn. Nina's got 8 lines here. These 2 carriers can only make defenders, so that's fine. We obviously can't build our whole dreadnought, so we'll build the commander, which does do one damage. So now we're doing 14, healing for 4. And we're 6 lines away from second dreadnought. Okay, 14 for taking 3 on this side. So, still healthy. We're almost to that Leviathan. Healing 4 here. We took all that damage from those 2 starships. So that's good. Once we make this second Leviathan, we'll have even less healing. Cool. Okay. Just checking that I haven't missed anything. We only spent 4 lines. That's right. Okay, big roll. 5. Right. That's good. So 14 here. 11 for Nina. So we can do it. Let's do it. It costs 12. And this carrier makes its last defender in the build phase. So it is depleted. Remember, they need to be depleted to turn into these upgraded ships. Leviathan is here, and it uses 2 defenders. So now we have a lot more healing. So the Leviathan heals for 12 and deals 12. In fact, it might just kill Nina here again. Let's see. So we're healing for 22. We're dealing 12. 11 lines. We can make the second dreadnought. It just always seems that it's too much. Would we be better just making 5 defenders that gives us 5 fighters, also increases our commander damage? These 10 joining lines, we're taking 12. And the Leviathan player, it's actually kind of hard to increase this 12 quickly, right? So maybe now is not the turn to go for second dreadnought. We would be doing 20 damage, we'd have 2 healing, we'd be taking 10. So let's not do it this turn. Let's try and just match this damage at least. Then maybe we'll consider it. Yeah. So 5 defenders gives us 5 fighters. So let me just change this. We have 3 here. And we're getting 5 because we made 5 defenders. The dreadnought power triggers on all of those. 8. So commander's doing 2. Now look, we're doing 20 damage and healing 9. Yeah, so maybe that second dreadnought at this stage, obviously, not the right plan because we actually just want to increase our healing. We're using this power, we just got 5 free fighters. That's 15 lines worth of value. Yep. So taking 3 is fine, and Leviathan is healing 2. Right. Turn 10, we got the Leviathan. Okay, it's not too bad. Turn 11. Let's roll and then we'll think about our plan. 5 here, 3, 4, 5. So both have 5. Um, so now, sorry, that's not right. The, of course, one of the whole reasons we built this Leviathan is that every dice roll is a 6. So a 2 is great for the Leviathan player. Let me just work that out. We had 2 saved because the 2 went to 4, went to 5. So we had 2 saved. This reads as a 6. So plus our orbital on top of that. So 8, 9. Okay. That's, yeah, the whole point of getting this ship consistently you get 6 on the dice every turn. So yeah, Nina does have 5. I think now the question is, well, we've got this. What do we do? Our healing is pretty close to the damage coming in, but we know that, you know, the Dreadnought's actually producing a lot, potentially. Nina can make a second one at some stage, or maybe not even. Maybe we'll just make a lot of commanders, defenders, and fighters and stick with single Dreadnought with the 2 orbitals powering it. So what do we want to do with this Leviathan now? We know we're going to get a 6 every turn. I think there's probably a couple of paths here. We could add a science vessel, maybe 2 science vessels. We could add orbitals. Just, we're going to get a 6 every turn. So that first science vessel doubles all of our healing. So this 22 would become 44. The other option, which people are drawn to, is building a bunch of frigates which have 6s in them. That, that's probably the way to go against this build that doesn't have a lot of healing. We could ramp up double science vessel. Yeah, that's kind of slow. It's safe. Frigates do heal for 2, so our healing will continue to increase, and each of them does 6 damage per turn because we always roll a 6. Let's do that. That sounds like fun. Do we want carriers making our fighters? I think we do. Yeah. Because we can get 3 fighters from this, join them to our existing defenders. We might make 1 now, just because we can, because we're going to get 7 lines per turn, essentially, with our orbital. Yep, let's go for frigates. We know this player isn't going to have too much healing. So we're doing 13 damage. We built a new carrier. Nina... Again, we could build a couple of those. We could build a commander here to get 9 fighters. That kind of means we won't be going for second Dreadnought. We could save these 5 lines and next turn make a second Dreadnought. The healing, though, also is a problem. Yeah, we kind of want to increase our healing and our damage. 6 would have been nice. 5. Let's build 2 defenders. Gives us 2 fighters. Also increases our commander. So now doing 23 and 11. So we're taking 2. That looks good. Let's roll. Another 2 is really good for Mr. Leviathan over here because that reads as a 6. Plus our orbital is 7. We could probably kill them this turn. Let's see. 3, 4, 5. Again, very annoying number because we can't do a commander and a defender, which would be good. Get 2 more fighters. We can do 2 more defenders, but yeah, it's not really increasing our damage and healing that much. Okay. So over here we're going to build a fighter. We're going to make 2 frigates, I think. Yep. So fighter plus defender. Under here we got 2 fighters. We just made one from this. So we'll make a frigate with a 6 in it. 2 of those. So get rid of these. Reduce this back down. That used 3 joining lines for each frigate. They heal for 2, and when the dice roll matches the number you've put in it, including the turn it's built, it does 6 damage. So our healing went up slightly, 24, 8, 2, 2, 12. Spent all our lines. Now our damage could just kill this turn, maybe. Let's see. It's 12 plus 6 plus 6. 24 damage. Looks like it's killing exactly at the moment. So no commander over here. Look, and in a real game, if someone has a Leviathan, you probably should be expecting this frigate 6 strategy. That's one of the combos. Let's build 2 defenders, try and stay alive, but yes, it's not looking good again for the Dreadnought player. 13, 12, our commander goes up. Would be nice if we had more of these, but yeah, we just need more healing in this build, right? Maybe another couple of carriers pumping out defenders while we're building this stuff. Okay, that's fine. 16, 26. Yeah, taking way more than we're dealing out here. Taking 11. And dealing 2. Well, Leviathan pretty strong, obviously, when the Guardian is banned. And look, yeah, as I said, Dreadnought a little bit slow in human versus human. Can be strong in the other matchups. Let's keep going. Okay. 3 is a 6. We had 1 save, so we have 8. Okay. And I've just left I'm leaving our frigate damage because it does happen every turn. Normally you'd write that frigate damage as a bonus, but not when you've got a Leviathan. 3, 4, 6. Okay. There's so much damage coming in. There's nothing really we can do here. Yeah. I believe it is GG. Here we got 8 lines and a carrier. Can we make 2 frigates? We can make our first fighter from the carrier. 3, 5. Not quite. Can't quite make 2, but we don't need to. 5 here. frigate number 3, and healing goes up 1 here, damage goes up 6. We still have 5 lines. There's really, yeah, we'll throw in an interceptor, 6 lines over here. We could do 3 defenders to get 3 fighters. Or we could do another commander, defender, just because we can. 14, 14, that's all our lines. 14, 18, 22, 32 damage, and 14 healing. We're super dead. What's this? 16, so minus 14. And dealing, what's that? 7, 18. Yep. GG. We didn't even use our interceptor. Doesn't matter. Thanks for watching. See you next time.